losing out to Vitaly Pachura of Ukraine, 9-4. I'm sure the intensity level will be cranked up for this one.
The one comes high, a bunch of collisions. And a bunch of congestion. Take another look. The 9 collides with the cue ball off the second rail. One went high. Let me tell you a little bit about Payne McBride. He's only rated a 6.75 in Fargo. He's from Middletown, Indiana. That 6.75, I think it's a little bit low. This kid is the real deal. This would be a special opportunity to really grow if he could get a win here. He is capable.
Well, not his first appearance on the main table. He lost out to the defending champion Ko Ping Chung. 9-3 on day one. That's why he's on the one-loss side. But he appears here after beating Nathan Childress 8-4 in his last match. That was a confidence builder.
Oh, Fedor Gorch, so good at this shot. I mean, it doesn't get any better. Can Payne even get to the left long rail? Just looking up table tells me the 7's got him really covered up, so he's going to look at the 2-rail line. Definitely a good option. Any contact here, Phil, will be good just to gain separation. Maybe get something going his way. He's made a great hit.
But the balls are nicely spaced. Okay, 6 and 8 might be a little bit of a head scratcher, but this is the kind of opportunity that normally Fedor Gorst devours.
Yeah, it seems like when the balls are tough or even in tougher positions, that's when he really shines.
Until that match with Vitaly Pachura earlier today, his involvement in this US Open was quite limited. Had a bye in the first round, then beat Nadim Arkabani 9-2, as comfortably as the score suggests next time out.
Two rails back out to the center. Wants to maintain an angle here. Would love to get below the 6 somewhere. Stretched it all the way out. Did he fall straight to the side? Phil has mentioned it many times. These side pockets unforgivable. If it's straight, it makes this a little trickier. You have to hit it with speed. Even as close as it is, it's definitely missable. I wouldn't be shocked if he went to the lower right corner. He's taking all his time here. He's got to miss the 9. Most likely going to wrap around 4 rails behind the 9 and the 8. Needs this to carry. It should be good. He'll take it.
A typically sharp opening rack. Fedor Gorst 1-0. And of course, if he were to win this US Open title, that would be yet another major on a CV that is remarkable, considering that he's only 24 years of age. This year, World 9-Ball Champion, we saw how he won that just before the match began. He's also won the World Pool Masters in a hill-hill battle with Joshua Filler. He won the Derby City Classic, one pocket this year, and also the Turning Stone Classic. He's won so much, but that appetite for success remains ravenous.
Yeah, exactly, Phil, and I think it's going to remain for many years to come. That's what's really frightening.
He's two things which make him very difficult to beat. One is excellent, the other is efficient.
Yeah, I spoke of that last weekend. Extremely efficient, extremely accurate, very technical. Fundamentals, well, I don't see him ever break down.
And we've talked about that World 9-Ball Championship win. It wasn't his first, of course. At the age of 24, he's the youngest to win that event twice. He won it in 2019 as well, beating Chang Junlin 13-11 in the final. To be a double World 9-Ball champion at the age of 24, I think that just underlines the special qualities he possesses. And he'll need that on this one ball. Had to be a straight shooter, and even then, the pocket tried to repel it.
Yeah, it sure did, and we noticed on the break shot, made two balls in the lower left corner, one being the corner ball. Sometimes these guys will play that ball, especially if they can make good contact with the one and get it going. Interesting to see what he'll do with that going forward. By the looks of things, Payne McBride will have his work cut out for him this match.
Yes, because Fedor Gorch knows how to go the distance in this tournament. He's never won it, but he has been to the final 12 months ago, or more accurately, last year, when he lost out to an inspired Ko-Ping Chung.
Yeah, but to your point, Phil, what a year he's had. Literally one match away from winning the US Open as well. Pretty fascinating what he's done. Two-time world champion, like you stated, at only 24 years old. Does he come two rails out above the 9? He loves the outside ball. Yes, he does. Fedor will go out of his way to use the outside ball. That's something that we're used to when we're watching this young man. He loves a nice and tight cue ball, loves to stay in line. He can make the shot, but he'd rather be uptight.
Yes, uptight in one sense, but not in another. Always seems emotionally in control. Let's give you these remaining winners' qualification matches and their scores. Ko-Ping Chung might well have weathered the storm against Fitim Haradinaj. Might be a little too early to say that, but he is 6-4 up, the title holder. Alexa Pashelch involved in a real battle against Ralph Suke. Tuchelsch back in front at 7-6. Jeremy Jones can't quite close the door against Torsten Homan. It was 8-5. Homan wins rack 14. As you might suspect from what we saw on table 1 before we came over here, Jeffrey Rodder did win rack 12, and he leads Joshua Filler 7-5. It's 7-6 for Jonathan Pinnegar over Sullivan Clark. 4-3 for Do Tae Kien over Babkin Melkonyan. Copigny on the hill against Tolian Han, it's 8-3. Chris Reinholdt and Moritz Neuhausen 6-6. Niels Fine 5-2 over Duong Kwok Wang. And Jan van Lierop providing stern resistance against Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. FSR leads only 7-6.
And there's the 2 balls in the corner that I pointed out last game. He is clearly playing them, making the wing ball, and he is going to be dangerous making that 5. 4, always getting the kiss, but it is played. The timing really good. One problem here, he is glued behind the 7. Gonna roll out. I think Shane Van Boning is probably the best in the world, or one of them at the push out. This guy is a close second. The more experience he gets, the better he will get at it. But with his jumping capabilities, Phil, the push out becomes a huge factor for Fedor Gorst. And what he's done here is call a rollout. The concern for Payne is that he really can't level out and go to the top right with the 1. Cue ball is going to track to the top left corner. He's got defensive options. Is he going to take this on to the top right? Could just make it back down table.
That was a big ask.
And Fedor knew that. Kind of tricked him into that one. Youth might have got the best of him. Coming in behind the 3, or he would like to. He's got a couple of options. He could obviously jump the 9. He's calling the extension. I think he's got a 1 rail and a 2 rail line at this 1. You'll see a lot of these guys jump at the 1. Wow, what a shot by McBride. Straight into the top left corner. Off the first long rail. Not bad, Phil.
Not bad. Now, can he capitalise and make his presence felt?
Yeah, where's this going to stop? Never told me he was fully comfortable over that, Phil. Just kind of used a flat ball. He checks it with some inside. Could have stayed to the right of the 9. This is cuttable. cue ball will be tracking towards the 6, or at least in that direction. Watch the middle pocket.
Well, better than scratching, but the jaw is blocking his path.
He's got options. What about the 2-rail angle below the 7? Trying to pot it in the top left. Yeah, so here, he's just got to get separation. Really no way to make the ball here. That's the only concern. Yeah, is he going to get away with it? I believe he has. Is the 9 on?
Extension.
Gorst calling his extension. Just one reminder, on the main table alone until the penultimate day, it is just one table with a shot clock. It's a 30-second shot clock with one 30-second extension per player per rack.
Yes, this requires a thin hit. He's playing the 9 to the lower left. I don't think it's going to do it. He needed to be thinner than that. More speed, and the cue ball would have knocked it in. But an opportunity for McBride to get on the board.
Hail the conquering hero cometh. Jeremy Jones has defeated Torsten Homan, double world champion Homan, 9-6. Our commentary colleague is into the draw for the last 64 tomorrow. Superb.
Yeah, we couldn't be happier for Jeremy. Good for him. Looked like he played real well most of that match as well. I watched a lot of it. We are happy for you, buddy. Squeezed that one in. The end of the buzzer. Do you go with the 9 here? Or just cinch the 7, the 8? It's right in front of the side pocket. I don't think you go with both. Yeah, nice shot.
Yeah, the 9 was left hanging by Gorst, and Payne McBride is on the board. 2-1.
Yeah, the only concern here, Phil, was hitting it full. He could have followed it in, but he caught the perfect side. He's on the board.
Ko Ping Chung 7-4 up on Fatim Harrah on table 19. So Ko, the title holder, 2 racks away from progress. Same for Alexa Pashelch, 7-6 on Ralph Souquet. Jeffrey Rodder on the hill against Joshua Filler at 8-6. Same thing for Jonathan Pinagar, identical score. He's leading Sullivan Clark. Do Tae Kien 5-3 on Babkin Milkonyan. Ko Pin Yi on the hill against To Lian Han at 8-3. Moritz Neuhausen now edging in front against Chris Reinhold at 7-6. Niels Feijen going great guns, 6-2 up on Duong Kwa Kwang, who won the Scottish Open earlier this year. And Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, he's on the hill against Jan van Lierop, but the outcome remains very much in the balance because FSR's lead is only 8-7.
Yeah, got to get a good look at the young man's break here. Pretty quick cue action right there. Wow. Watch the 9. Yeah, he's got the 1 on the side and the 5 into the corner, and the 9 almost goes into the top right. Well, all or nothing here. Airborne. Flight 29, leaving Atlantic City.
Surely not. That would have been luck in the extreme. Yeah, I think that flight skidded on the runway.
Yeah, good call, Phil. The jump cue kind of come out from underneath him there. It's okay. Regroup, young man. You'll be all right. I don't know how easy this is. Fedor's so good. Next to any object ball like this, the cue ball right next to the 9. He's got such good cue action, stays so solid. You rarely see him mishit this ball. Look at how still he is. Now that's got to either carry or settle. Can bank this to the right side and draw out 2 rails. Maybe even just draw up 1 rail. Another option is to follow it. 3 rails. Just short.
It's a recurring theme. I've watched so much pool on this table over the last 3 days, and when they're banking into the middle pocket and they miscalculate, 9 times out of 10, it's when they're short. They are narrow off the cushion.
I second that statement. Can Payne get a second early 9? Is he cutting at this? Yeah, the 9 was such a big ball. Thought he'd just bank it. The 6 was not in the way. Must have felt good that he was going to go into the 7 thick there. That's why he cut it. This is another bank option to the 9, but the problem this time is he's got a lot more distance, not quite as natural. He's going at it, Phil. Oh, and he's hit it good, Phil. We're tied up.
Yeah, he did that 1 ball later than you thought he might, but the end result is exactly the same. Payne McBride equalising.
Yeah, as you look there, he also played the cue ball to the bottom rail just in case. 2 early 9s for Payne.
Coping showing now on the hill against Fatim Haradinaj at 8-4. Ralph Suke, what a battler. He's 7-7 with Alexa Pachelch. Jeffrey Rodder still trying to see off Josh Filler. 8-6 to the Filipino. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz also still trying to apply the last piece in the jigsaw against Jan van Leerup. Can tell you there's 1 match still going on in losers round 3. Loho Sum is 6-5 up on Brandon Schuff. The winner will go into losers qualification, which is now well advanced. In fact, a couple of players in losers qualification are on the hill. Naoki Oi 8-0 up on Julio Burgos, and Yannick Pongers 8-3 over Marcel Price. Jason Shaw not having things his own way against Hunter Lombardo. Shaw led 3-1, now it's 4-3 to the Scot. The UK Open champion Robbie Capito is leading Nicolas de Leon 7-0.
little bit of a mishit, I believe. Everything just missing the pockets. Take another look. Yeah, maybe a fraction thin. The cue ball tracked nicely, though. See the 9 come out a little.
We've seen an awful lot of surprises today, but Ko Pin-Yi does not fall victim to one of those. He's beaten To Lian Han 9-3. That's in winners' qualification. So Ko, the eldest of the three extraordinary Ko brothers, is into the last 64.
Going at the 1 to the top right here. It looks tight. Must have a full pocket. Too tough to cheat this. Float 1 rail out. Oh yeah, he did have a full pocket. Nicely managed. That really opens everything up, Phil. The 5 plays in the lower right as well, I believe, but it also plays in the right center. Elevated over the 3. Wow, that was real thin. I love how he freezes after contact. Transition is perfect. Follow through, exceptional. He'll hold for a minute. Just keeps him comfortable with staying down. He'd like to have gotten a little more out of that cue ball. 9 will possibly be tracking. To the lower right, he's taking a look at it. From this angle, I don't think the 9 goes, so he's going to have to focus on the 5 in the right-hand side pocket.
Working hard for this, working hard to try and regain the lead. The one thing you didn't want there was for the 8 and 9 to mesh up together, but there is clear separation between them.
Get awkward here. He's looking like he has to go to the short side. Definitely don't want to have to draw towards the 8. Now this is a little far, I believe. Yeah, you see the shake of the head now. Cue ball gonna have to travel.
Yes, we talk about road maps, don't we? This might be a road trip.
Yes, it definitely looks like it's a possible road trip. He's made more work out of this than necessary. Cue ball really going to stretch out here off the second rail. Oh, that doesn't have the speed, Phil. Or does it?
Your instinct was right first time.
If this ball is frozen, you can try to take it on to the lower right corner. It's not doing that. Is the bank on? Wow. What a spectacular shot.
We saw Chris Melling do that in our earlier match on this table. Fedor Gorst does it brilliantly to regain the lead at 3-2.
Yeah, he was so close to the rail there from our line, it didn't even look possible. Held it up nicely.
So big developments to tell you about. Jeffrey Rodder has beaten Joshua Filler 9-6. So Filler goes into losers qualification. He'll be playing Jeremy Sosi shortly. Ralph Suke and Alexa Pachelch still 7-7. Koping Chung 8-4 over Fitim Haradinaj. All these matches in winners qualification. Dote Kien 5-4 over Babkin Melkonyan. 8-6 Jonathan Pinegar over Sullivan Clark. Niels Fyan looks like his old self, 7-2 up on Duong Quang. And how about this? Jan van Leerup on table 25 has taken Francisco Sanchez Ruiz the full distance, 8-8. The final rack being played as I speak. As for losers qualification, Jason Shaw has a little bit of daylight now against Hunter Lombardo at 5-3. Naoki Oi has won. He's in the last 64, beating Julio Burgos 9-1. Same for Michael Feliciano, a 9-3 winner over Mieszko Fortunski, whose form has gone off a cliff since he was runner-up in the UK Open back in May.
Well, the one on the side now, very strange. Was making the corner ball and getting a kiss with another ball to the corner. Now the one. I think this was a thicker hit. To give you an idea, guys, how tough this tournament is, think about it. You have Fedor Gorst, Joshua Filler, and Jason Shaw now playing losers qualification matches.
Yes, and Francisco Sanchez Ruiz is one rack away from joining them.
In my opinion, Gorst, in my opinion, top 2, top 3 in the world at the grind game, meaning the tactical side, the jumping side, just the scratchy type of play. Yeah, I don't see it getting much better than what he can do. Payne McBride jumping to the blue too. He's going to call his extension. I don't blame him. He's kind of lost the Q-tip down to the cloth again there. Maybe he's just pulling the jump cue so far back it slides off the bridge hand. Made good contact. The 6 is a big ball here if he wants to shoot it. Most likely just going to send the 2 rails up. Yeah, like so.
Now there's an art in that itself. He held that cue ball so easily.
Yeah, well said, Phil. There's a big art into that, especially using a little bit of outside and still being able to drift the cue ball over just a couple rotations. There's an extreme art to that. Back to the jump cue. No extension left. Down to the buzzer. Yeah, so that's what's happening. The cue is sliding off of his bridge hand after contact. Can be a little dangerous because they're playing all ball fouls. So you got to be careful there. Such a great cue ball. All along knew he was going to get him up behind the 8. He said, jump this one, Mr. McBride. Extremely difficult elevated over the 8. Valiant effort.
But with ball in hand, you expect Fedor Gorst to dish. The pink 4 will go past the green 6. That though was a little clumsy.
Yeah, I agree, Phil. I think he's okay. Might be able to hold. Pretty sure he can hold, actually. He's going to have to elevate, though. Similar to what you said a few shots ago with that art of holding the cue ball. Similar shot there. Like Phil said, the pink 4 goes to the lower left. So he will be able to hold. Nice recovery.
It just caressed the 6 as it went by.
The 8 will play either lower right or left. All depends on where he ends up on the 7. He's chose to come above the 9 here. Phil touched on it earlier. This young man is extremely efficient around the table. Very few movements wasted. He's going to play the 8 in the lower right. A little thinner than he wanted, but he's going to be just fine.
Gorst re-establishes breathing space at 4-2. Now the man who beat Fedor in the final last year is through. Ko Ping Chung, I think he won the last 7 racks to defeat Fatim Haradinaj, 9-4. Ralph Souquet, the evergreen Ralph Souquet, on the hill against Alexa Pachelch at 8-7. Identical score for Jonathan Pinagar over Sullivan Clark. In the winners' qualification match that's lagging behind, Dao Tae Kien 5-4 on Babkin Melkonyan, who has been involved in quite a few lengthy matches. Moritz Neuhausen defeated Chris Reinhold 9-6. Niels Feyen on the hill 8-2 up on Duong Quoc Wang. And how about this? Jan van Leerup from 8-7 down has beaten Francisco Sanchez Ruiz 9-8. FSR into a pool in the losers qualification that is full of sharks.
Yeah, basically all of Team Europe at one point or another.
In losers qualification, Robbie Capito has beaten Nicolas de Leon 9-0, so he's into the last 64. Yannick Pongas overcame Marcel Price, so the same fate for him. He'll be here tomorrow. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, he will now play Georgi Georgiev of Bulgaria.
down again. The 4 nestled up to the 9. I wonder if he's decided to start playing the 1 because he didn't like what he was ending up with trying to play the corner ball. You know, that first match you just announced, Phil, Ko Ping Chung, it just reminds me of the match he had here last year. Something spectacular. Potting 99 out of 99 balls versus one Aloysius Yap in the semifinals.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier in the tournament, and I was saying actually that although Yap would have been disappointed to lose, that kind of match is much easier to take than if you've lost Hill and spurned a whole succession of chances.
Yeah, I don't think you can be too upset at that. Making all 99 balls. What can you do? Oh, very good here. I mean, very good here. Called his extension. Knows that this is the shot of the game. Gets this down. He's looking good. Might have to float it in. That's what he's eyeing up. Jeremy Jones walking by.
Yeah, he'll be commentating the next match with Carl Boys, so I'm eager to hear from the horse's mouth how it all transpired against Torsten Homan.
Looks like he's using power coming below the left side pocket. Now you have to be so accurate with that hit. 2 great shots back to back there. Now you've got to avoid contact with the black 8. Does it come 3 rails below it or just 2? Yeah, watch the right side pocket. Speed's going to be perfect. You just get the sense it's starting to slip away. 2 early 9s for McBride. The rest has been all Gorst.
Friendly little nudge off the 9. Thought for a moment he might have hampered queuing. None of the sort. After being held at 2-2, it's 3 on the bounce for Fedor Gorst. 5-2 ahead. 4 more racks needed to escape losers qualification. On table 4, it's Hill, Ralph Suke and Alexa Pachelch. That's winners qualification. Jonathan Pinegar, 8-7 over Sullivan Clark. 5-5 Dao Taekien and Babkin Melkonyan. And Niels Fyan has defeated Duong Kwok-Wang 9-2. So basically only 3 matches now in play in winners qualification. As for losers round 3, there's still 1 going on. Brandon Schuff on the hill against Lo Ho Sum, leading 7-6. Jason Shaw in losers qualification, 7-4 up on Hunter Lombardo. That's a race to 9. Vijay Usuri 3-2 over Matt Edwards. Roland Garcia 4-3 over the youngest of the Ko brothers, Ko Ping Han. Francesco Candela 4-2 over Sharik Saeed. Victor Zielinski It's just taken the opening rack from Emil Andre Gangflow. Same for Aloysius Schaap over Darren Appleton. Dennis Grabber and Tyler Steyer, 4-4. Tell you what, Steyer likes a sweater. Every match he plays seems to be on a knife edge.
Yeah, Steyer coming back from a recent medical procedure. Says he's all healed up, no issues. Take another look at this. He's got the ball down in the corner, which is the 5. A lot of action on the 9. Boy, I don't see much slowing him down here, Phil. If he can get the 7 down. What is he measuring there with the 6? I don't see anything to do with the 6. Is he cutting the 1 in the middle and going into the edge of the 6 or the back of it full? I believe that's what's happening. Gosh, right where he wanted. Impressive.
Yes, with these gesticulations there, he let us know exactly what he was going to do. And of course, he was on the button.
Did the 3 get a little awkward? Tells me it did not. He made it look easy. Hard to explain the hit that he just did. He stopped his cue ball, but about as softly as you could. He's one of the best in the world at that. He doesn't want to have to deal with the 9 here. Mostly likely going to come 2 rails in front of it. Is he looking at the 2 rails behind the 9? It's obviously an option. If you think it's a little added risk, not necessary. Might even be able to pinch this 1 rail up.
Can tell you losers round 3 is over. Brandon Schuff has had a really good win over Low Ho Sum of Hong Kong, former World Masters runner-up Low Ho Sum. But Schuff got the verdict, 8-6.
Yeah, it's a big win for Schuff, actually. Low Ho Sum can really play. This is Federer's go-to low outside ball. Caught it a fraction heavy. Got it down. Will extend his lead by 4.
He encountered a bump in the road earlier, losing to Vitaly Pachura 9-4 in winners' qualification, but now looking like his normal self. 2 matches only still going in winners' qualification. Suke and Pachelch still battling away on the hill. Melkonyan and Dao Tekien 5-5, lagging well behind. Jonathan Pinagar is the latest winner in WQ, beating Sullivan Clark of New Zealand 9-7. It's tightening up. Jason Shaw only 7-6 in front of Hunter Lombardo. Vijay Usuri 3-2 over Matt Edwards. 5-3 Roland Garcia over Ko Ping Han. A battle of the generations there. Francesco Candela has a 5-2 lead over Sharik Saeed. Tim de Ruyter and Imran Majid 4-4. Albin Auschen after a heavy defeat earlier against Alex Pagulayan. Well, he's rebounded. He's on the hill against Luong Doc Tien at 8-3. We saw Marvin Assis beat Earl Strickland first thing today. Well, Assis is 6-5 down to Donnie Mills. Canada's finest, John Morris, 6-0 up on Steve Fleming. And the rest of the losers' qualification matches either still to go on or they haven't played a rack yet.
Donnie Mills. Still got it, pal. All right, there's the kiss on the 5. The 8 might drop. Just short, and it's finished. Difficult. And the 1 catches the point. Yeah. A little bit of work to do here. Big cluster down here with the 7, 2, 4, and 9. Does he chop this to the right middle? Very, very classy. I like the play. Utilizing the wall down here. He's really kind of just kept Payne at bay completely. And this is one I'd consider jumping. He's going to the kick. And the only reason I'd consider jumping is because you scratch in the top right or top left there. The jump could have rewarded a make. Ball in hand. Gorst with an open table.
And you said it earlier, it's for all the world slipping away, isn't it, for Payne McBride?
This is where Fedor shines. In these tight areas where the balls are clustered up. Such a tight cue ball. Makes most racks like this light work. The 8, below the right middle, a little bit of trouble. Given where the 7 is, he'll be able to handle it. Is he sticking him up? No, that's not very nice.
By the way, the main table today is a parade of superstars. Next up, it will be Jeremy Sosi against Joshua Filler, fighting for his US Open life.
Yeah, you just get the feeling a few of these European players might exit early, or at least one. There's 4 or 5 of them in the elimination round now. Great hit. Is he going to get unlucky? Yeah. The pool god's not cooperating. Delivering the pain to Mr. McBride is one Fedor Gorst.
And the pool gods not cooperating with Ralph Souquet. The German legend has been beaten 9-8 by Alexa Pachelch. So one match in winners' qualification left. And there's some pool left in that one. Batkin Melkonyan and Do Tae Kien, 5-5.
Both guys kind of laughing there. A little chuckle. Payne kicked 2 times. Both times scratched in the top right. Not extremely lucky, to say the least. Fedor's gotten a little steep here on the 3 to the left side pocket. This cut is doable, and also bank it. Phil, I know you are a Ralph Souquet fan. I just wanted to give you my condolences.
Yeah, I think the world of Ralph, like the way he conducts himself. And now, though, he set up a blockbuster. If it was 20 years ago, it would be Clash of the Titans. Mika Immonen against Ralph Souquet. That's in losers qualification.
I have to agree with you, Ralph. Always been a class act. Going to the short side of this 8. Needs that to travel. Just got there.
Just clear the point, get it online and float it in. Sounds easy. It isn't.
You called it, Phil. You called it exactly right. He missed a ball like that against SVB last weekend.
I really think it's a psychological thing with the point, don't you? Not just with him, with everyone.
Yeah, with everyone. It's hard to get out of your head that the point is there. Seems like it's been eons since McBride's had a actual look at a ball. And I think it's the first time. As a matter of fact, I know it's the first time in the rack that he's actually had a shot directly at the 9.
And it is knocked in. So Gorch missing the 8 down the long rail means that his run of 4 consecutive racks won has been punctuated. 6-3. Maybe it isn't slipping away. Jason Shaw on the hill now against Unter Lombardo at 8-6. Matt Edwards and BJ Ussery 3-3. Roland Garcia only 5-4 up on Coping Hand, so can all 3 co-brothers make it into the draw for the last 64? It now depends on the youngest of them. Francesco Candela 5-2 up on Sharik Saeed. Victor Zielinski and Emil Andre Gangflow 1-1. Same for Darren Appleton and Aloysius Yap. Dennis Grabber of Estonia has taken a 5-4 lead over Tyler Steyer. It's now 8-4 for Albin Auschen over Luong Doc Tien. 6-6 Marvin Assis, Donnie Mills. And John Morra is ploughing a lone furrow. He's 7-0 up on Steve Fleming. 2 racks away from making it into single elimination tomorrow. By the way, tomorrow's bill of fare, it's last 64 followed by last 32.
Thank you for that, Phil. Oh, and there goes the 1. The 2 is down as well. He's going to have a good look on the 3. A lot of distance. Oh, look at this break. Very successful. Tester out of the gate, though, on the 3. Tough one to just roll. He might let it out here. Yeah, he's going to draw 2 rails below the 7. And a little decel right at the end That's what caused the overcut. I don't typically see him with a natural pause in the backhand, but it looked like that's what happened there.
The balls in pool are much bigger than snooker balls, but it's exactly the same in that game. If you decelerate, you overcut.
Very good for him to look back on, though. We all do it. Fedor great at this as well. This is also his bread and butter. Center ball, back and forth.
Now, because he's won so much, I think I know the answer to this, but I'll ask you anyway, Scott. Like all great champions, do you think he's got that rare ability to be able to shake off a previous error? Just forget about it. Obviously, the 8-ball went astray in the previous rack. I think he's got the kind of mentality that says, so what?
Yeah, it's exactly right. Kind of like what I was highlighting about what he did in Saudi Arabia. Made several mistakes. He says it. He admits it in interviews. He didn't play perfect. Matter of fact, he didn't think he played near as good as he could play and still won the tournament. Well, that has a lot to do with what Phil just said. He is extremely capable of making a major mistake and getting through it right away.
Yeah, that really is a massive key to success at top level in any sport. Jettison any emotional baggage, any scar tissue you might have after making an error. There's nothing you can do. You can't turn the clock back.
That's exactly right, Phil. When I teach, it's the first thing I teach an amateur. If they have the ability, they always ask me how you get over it. Well, you just have to get over it. That's up to you. But you've just got to let it go. You want to talk about improving your game? Let the mistakes go.
Actually, a good t-shirt for a pool player. Don't dwell. Don't dwell, do well. There you go. I'm a poet and I don't know it.
We love you, Phil.
And Fedor Gorst loves the fact he's gone 7-3 up. Just 2 more required. I think it would have come as a shock to the system to be sent to the one-loss side, but he's got the coolness to be able to cope. Jason Shaw will need coolness. Hunter Lombardo proving stubborn. Shaw's lead 8-7. Can the European Mosconi Cup captain survive, or will he go out prematurely? Vijay Usri 4-3 over Matt Edwards. Coping hand 5-5 now with Roland Garcia. Victor Zielinski hits the front against Emil Andre Gangflow. Tyler Steyer, a man who engages in consistent brinkmanship. He's 5-5 with Dennis Grabber. Imran Majid 5-4 up on Tim de Ruyter. Albin Auschen still waiting for victory over Luong Doc Tien. It's 8-4 now. Marvin Assis on the hill, 8-6 over Donny Mills. 8-0 for John Morrow against Steve Fleming. All of these matches in losers qualification. And just a few matches that have only begun in the last few moments. Chris Reinhold taking the first rack from Cliff Castelline. Mario He 1-0 up on Tolian Han. And Carlo Biardo looking for a vast improvement on his performance against Chris Melling. Leads Jerry Arvalese 1-0. Jerry Arvalese, I should say.
Look at this break here. The one rifled into the right center. He is going to have a shot on the 2. I think he can beat the side pocket. Pink 4 up to the top right, and the 5. Followed right behind. Yeah, he can beat the side pocket. Can he come off the point to get down here for the red 3?
It's such a big result, I'll give it you now. Jason Shaw is okay. He's beaten Hunter Lombardo 9-7. We'll see him play in the last 64 tomorrow.
Having a good look at this. Can't tell for sure from this angle how far past the side pocket the blue 2 is. A lot of times these guys can play the cue ball off the point. Just know it's going to come down here somewhere below the 8-9-3. Better going to bring the cue ball up and down. Oh, goodness gracious. Is this as good as I think it's going to be? Well, very close. You just don't see too many guys use a high outside ball on a shot like that. They'd rather just come flat, straight back down, and try and get under the 8. Fedor gave himself an opportunity to get under 3 different balls. Heartbreak Hotel for Payne McBride.
We call that in snooker a pair of trousers.
As you see there, it almost looked like he had the gap. Finally makes a jump shot. As luck would have it, scratches in the top left, and Gorst, well, left to pick up the pieces.
I think he has to be reasonably pleased with the way he's played. Okay, he missed that 8-ball, didn't he, in rack 9 down the rail, but bad mistakes have been few and far between.
No, I firmly agree. I think he's played extremely solid this match. Looks very confident. He actually broke quite well. As soon as we talk about him, Phil, it never fails.
It really is extraordinary how that happens so often. Now, can he see any of the 7?
Other than the 8, this is probably the biggest mistake he's made. Slightly careless there. Just overpowered the draw stroke. He would like to catch the top half of this 7. Oh, look at this. Does he have the speed? He doesn't. I believe Payne can get to it.
Yeah, 2 or 3 more rolls on the 7, and that pot to middle would have been really tough. As it is, it's pretty much a gimme. And there we were, saying that Fedor Gorst has been solid, and he has been. But his positional effort onto the 7 was a bust.
Yeah, and he won't be happy with it. Kind of a glaring mistake, even though in full control of this match. It's not good on the resume of the match.
And Payne McBride not going away. It is 7-4 now, when Gorst was within 3 balls of reaching the hill. So the Henley pool taking place now, with one exception, is losers qualification. Bernie Regalario has taken the first rack from Fitim Haradinaj. Liu Riteng in the all-Chinese Taipei battle with Kuo Po Cheng. Liu is 1-0 up. Nick Malai 2-0 over Torsten Homan. Alex Kazakis in an all-Greek affair with Christos Papageorgiou. Kazakis 1-0 up. Carlo Biardo 2-0 over Jerry Arvelaez of Venezuela. Mario He 2-0 on Tolian Han. Chris Reinholdt, who has Mosconi Cup experience, 2-1 on Belgium's Cliff Castelline. Chris McDaniel 1-0 over Suhabi Anwar Abdullah. And Duong Qua Quang, the leading Vietnamese player and very popular in his home nation, which is a pool mad country. He's 1-0 up on Miguel Silva.
Good success last break for Payne. Oh, he's kissed the one in. He did make a ball in the lower left corner. The cue ball. Gonna set up nicely for the 3. Watch this cue ball come. Knock the 1 right back in, and then the 8 flicks the cue ball out. So everything sets up pretty good here early in this rack for Payne McBride. You don't have to get too cute. You can stay out above the 9. Is this straight? That's the question. These are the ones that can fool us. Hard to tell. Can't tell if the 4 goes in the lower right. I think he can just roll forward. That you're trying to get into a fine area. That was an error. You could stay high anywhere in the center of the table, wrap around 2 rails below the 7 and play the 5 in the lower left, versus taking the chance to come down here and split the window between the 7 and 9. He will learn. He's young.
Yeah, there's a price to pay for attempting to be a little too precise.
Here, instead of kick, I would consider the jump, because if you miss it long of the right middle, it could finish up on the top rail. You could leave the cue ball low. So I feel like a couple times when he had a jump, he could have kicked, and when he could have kicked, he might have jumped.
And the latest decision, Scotter's backfired.
And he might even know what I'm talking about. It could just be as simple as, you know, the mind going a little bit in the middle of the match. He's under the lights. He's playing, well, 2-time world champion. He'll look back at this and only improve. Look at this. That backswing was really quick.
Indeed, and look where the cue ball was for the 5. Stuttering a little as the winning line approaches.
Yeah, complete mishit. He was trying to draw to the top rail. The mishit, overcut to the right side. That's how the cue ball finished, up there near the corner pocket. Way off the mark. Oh, he's cut the 6 in. Off the 9.
And those busy pool gods again intervene, punishing Gorst for another mistake.
Now here, if you're Payne, you just really want to try and knock this down. You don't have to come above it if you don't like it, meaning the 5. You can come across. Yeah, okay, you don't want to land straight, though. That's the concern. That man right there not going to be happy with the last couple innings at the table. Phil, I believe the 7 plays in the lower right. Well, back in line, nice recovery. Yeah, you can probably just go forward here. He'd like to get to where he can play the 8 all the way up.
This match could so easily be over. On the cards, it will be extended. Is it conceivable that Fedor Gorst could miss out on single elimination? Well, that's another rack on the board for Payne McBride. He trails only 7-5. Matt Edwards and BJ Ussery 4-4. All level also on table 26, where Roland Garcia and Koping Han have arrived at 6-6. Francesco Candela 5-4 on Sharik Saeed. 3-2 for Emil Andre Gangflow over Victor Zielinski. 2-2 Darren Appleton, Aloysius Schaap. 6-6 Tyler Steyer and Dennis Grabber. Imran Majid 6-5 over Tim de Ruyter. Albin Auschen is through. He's beaten Luong Doctien 9-4. Marvin Assis and Donnie Mills, Hill. It's arrived at 8-8. Miguel Silva and Duong Kwok-Wang 1-1, same as Soebi Anwar Abdullah and Chris McDaniel. Chris Reinholdt, he leads Cliff Castelline 2-1. Mario He, another big name on the one-loss side, 2-1 up on To Lian Han, the veteran from Singapore, who together with Aloysius Schaap guided Singapore to the World Cup final. Carlo Biardo having no problems, 3-0 up on Jerry Ovaleyes. Biardo, by the way, was very poor in losing to Chris Melling, but you just sensed the good performance was coming. We just talked about Duong Kwok-Wang being Vietnamese #1, and that's why he will be looking forward to what's coming up in the Vietnamese capital on October 8 to 13. It is a major World 9-Ball Tour ranking event. It is the second edition of the tournament. It's the Mansion Sports Hanoi Open, won last year by Jason Shaw in a truly thrilling finish, overcoming Albin Auschen in a hill finish. And of course, immediately after that, the pool tour travels to the inaugural Reyes Cup. Now, the players have taken a time out on the main table, so we'll go on to table 1 for a while, where Aloysius Schaap and Darren Appleton are still in the early stages of their losers qualification match. By the way, that's winners qualification match that's still going on. Just the one, Do Tay Kien of Vietnam, 7-5 up on Babkan Melkonyan. Three years ago, Aloysius Schaap was breaking brilliantly, looking supremely confident. He got to the final against Carlo Biardo. We thought it would be Singapore's greatest pool triumph. It wasn't to be. Biardo came good in that final, but Yap's had plenty of success in the USA. Good technique. But in this match, will technique overcome huge experience? Only 3 players have successfully defended this title, and one of them is involved in this match, Darren Appleton, the winner in 2010 and again the following year.
You know, what a great player Darren was for such a long period of time. One of my favorite players. This is tricky. Is he coming off the right side? Yeah, he was trying to kick behind it. He might get a little fortunate with the one resting right up in front of the corner. Darren with a little grimace on the way to the table. Could have been a lot worse for Yap with that miss hit. Tried to kick and stick behind the one there. Just hold the cue ball up at the top rail and send the one down table. This is makeable, but where's the cue ball go? It's pretty flat. Needs a little help from the green.
Back in the arena, both players are now in place. Will this Payne McBride comeback continue, or will Fedor Gorst get those 2 racks he needs for victory? But let's not forget, 7-3 up, in command in the 11th rack, snookered himself needlessly on the 7 and then missed the 4 in rack 12, after which McBride had an outrageous fluke.
He's got a good break, this young man. The one missing just high. He's not going to have a good look at it. And making the 6 this time in the lower right. Don't see that too often. And you better be very careful here. Is this some type of jump cue? I believe it is. Can he jump straight at this ball? Or is he jumping to kick behind it? Sometimes he jumps at awkward times. Okay, so he could make it. Can't pick on him there, but he loses the jump cue, Phil, off the hand. He pulls it back after he strokes, and in the future, if he watches this, that could be a little dangerous. You could collide with a couple object balls doing that. You just don't want to do that. He's got so much talent. We're going to hear from him a lot in the future, I believe. A couple little things to work on, but for now, he's got to work on beating this guy. To the second rail, most likely. You see where he put the chalk there? just below the left middle. I don't know that that was intentional. Just convenient.
And that could be the key that unlocks the rack. Very nice.
Notice what he did there. The cue tip up towards the center of the table, going to draw out one rail. He does something a little different than others. I know he punched down, but he will fool you with the low English. He'll aim to the center, and then the final stroke, go low. Very few players do this. Going to dig into this with a low left ball. Gets a lot out of it. Really released there, though.
Slip-ups when we least expected it in the previous two racks. Will he be okay in this one?
Is he too steep to pull it back one rail on the left side? Or does he want to punch back two rails to the right side of the 8? Really taking his time here. He might have heard you, Phil. Oh, he's coming all the way over. Wow, what a hit.
That one was a little tentative. Okay, the 9 ball should not be too taxing for him. There is just a 1% element of doubt, I suppose. Maybe 1% of 1%. Fedor Gorst arrives on the hill at 8-5. The one remaining winner's qualification match is also that same score. Vietnam's Do Tae Kien has pulled away from Babkan Melkonyan. Needs one more rack to go through. And if Do Tae Kien gets the victory, Melkonyan will be the last piece in the loser's qualification jigsaw. BJ Ussery 6-4 up on Matt Edwards. Koping Han on the hill against Roland Garcia at 8-6. All three co-brothers could well be in the last 64 tomorrow. Francesco Candela, he leads Sharik Saeed 6-5. Emil Andre Gangflo 4-2 up on Victor Zielinski. We just showed you a snippet of Table 1, which you can see on the Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel. Well, Aloysius Schaap won rack 5 to lead Darren Appleton 3-2. Tyler Steyer and Dennis Graver still locked together at 6-6. Imran Majid leads Tim de Ruyter 7-6. Marvin Assis defeated Donnie Mills 9-8. And Francisco Sanchez Ruiz pleased to be 2-0 up on Georgi Georgiev.
Well, I was just going to say Gorst would like to finish or end on a good note this rack. He's come up dry. Now another person that would like him to finish on a good note, my colleague of last weekend and one of Fedor's managers, Jason Sword, is tuned in. I want to say hello to him, doing a lot for the sport. Pretty darn good announcer as well, Phil. Great people, he and his brother, out of Kentucky. Gotta expect if Fedor makes it to the semifinals, we'll see one of them out here at the end of the week. Looking to come 2 rails. Yeah, he got too deep. Might have got away with it. Better to hit it too deep than too thin, though. So I can't pick on him too much. Using his extension. We've touched on it before. They'll use the extension earlier than later because there's typically just more traffic going to the air. Well, he fooled me, Phil. Used the masse. I
think it's fair to say that this match has been harder work than he anticipated. Certainly when he pulled away from 2-2 to 7-3, it looked as if there was nothing going to stop him, but it has been a grind the last few racks. Nervous energy has been expended.
Yeah, when we were bragging on Fedor, he overdrew the object ball to get on the 7. It cost him a couple games. Elevating here. Oh, this is a great hit. Wow, what a great hit there by McBride. Another look. And to spin that back with a lot of low outside. Gonna crash into the 6 here, I believe, unless he thinks he can miss it to the right. Draw 2 rails out. What do you think, Phil? Is the 4-9 coming up?
Well, I definitely think it's worth major consideration, don't you?
Yeah, given where the cue ball and the 3 are, we've touched on how tight the side pockets are. You could almost stop right there if the line is accurate. You could just tell something gave out there. The buzzer never helps. Is the 9 on to the top left?
Well, the kick is a given. If it is, this could be end of match.
Yeah, the way he's acting, it tells me it is very close. Gorst kicking behind the 3, looking to make the 9 in the top left, and that was a no-go. He clearly thought it was on. Little smirk from him. He hit the underside of the 3, probably threw the 9 upwards towards the 6. So another mishit from Gorst. What a clean strike there with the buzzer in his ear.
Yes, and what a golden opportunity to draw within 2.
Once again here, you don't need to try and get perfect and get up there real close. Just stay on the angle that you're looking at now, anywhere up towards the center. Oh, he's miscued. I think he's... Okay. Almost sounded like a double hit there. That was really strange looking, but he miscued. That's all it was. This isn't a lot of fun, Phil. He's got to knock it down. Well, he's done well. Did he get the rub? I think he will. Not out of the woods yet. It just feels like there's more work to go. Okay, he's recovered.
Can McBride inflict the ultimate pain on Gorst? He's sticking in there, stubbornly fighting on. Hard to imagine he will miss this. In it goes. Payne McBride, his lowest ebb was 7-3 down, but he's won 3 of the next 4. That's why it's 8-6, and that's why the outcome's still in the balance. I can tell you, by the way, winners' qualification is over. The last man through, Do Tay Kien of Vietnam, beating Babkan Melkonyan 9-5. So the only remaining pool now being played, and there's plenty of it, is in losers' qualification. Vijay Usri 7-4 up on Matt Edwards. Koping Han still on the hill against Roland Garcia at 8-6. Sharik Saeed and Francesco Candela 6-6. Emil Andre Gangflo 5-2 on Victor Zielinski. 4-2 for Aloysius Schaap over Darren Appleton. Tyler Steyer and Dennis Graber 7-7. What a fight that is. Imran Majid 7-6 against Tim de Ruyter. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, so far at least, not having to panic. He's 3-0 up on Georgi Georgiev. And Carlo Biardo leads Jerry Arvelaez 6-1 now. Nick Malai 5-1 up on Torsten Homan. And Bernie Regulario is a 4-1 leader against Fitim Haradinaj.
Yeah, I tell you what, the break isn't too bad from this young man. Just a few things in the mid-game that he has to continue to work on. He's not going to come away with anything on the 2 here. Jump? Well, it's possible. Stretched a little bit, I think, awkwardly. And that's why he's going to the push. You really got to think this out. Better will get the best of you. You don't. Pushing to a jump shot here, possibly. Yeah, to where he can reach it a little better.
Pushing to a jump against Fedor Gorst.
What are you saying, Phil?
It's dangerous.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Gorst, widely known as the best in the world with the short stick. For good reason.
And if he knocks this in, there'll be shape on the 3. Always looked as though the alignment was off there. We were right down the line, and I thought he was going to overcut it.
Yeah, and going back to that, you've got to think that Payne knew he was going to take that on, being Gorst. Typically, in that situation, you want to avoid something like that. I think he'll take a lot away from this match, though, and that's the beauty of this sport. Nobody is perfect. That needs to settle. Chip the 3 under the 8. Get him nice and tight up there behind the 6 and 7. A little firm. Going to get cover with the 8. Just going to allow Gorst to see the right long rail. It's kind of the difference there. If you get him up under the 7 there, you cut that long rail off. He's so good at being accurate at that. I don't know right now if Payne can make this in the lower left.
This, though, reminiscent of the World Championship. Gorch lost his first match there and then at times looked vulnerable. Found a way. Can he find a way here? Well, the 3 is on for him. The table is on for him.
Yeah, Phil. Another mishit there. He'd like to have caught the bottom half. Not the full ball. Just laying it up in the corner for Gorst. Not all is lost. Of course, does get out here. Payne making it to 6 games. Got a lot of good things he can look at. A lot to improve from. Look to see a lot of him in the future. Biting Gorst gets out here.
The great UK Q Sports commentator Clive Everton coined a phrase when players were having trouble crossing the line. He said they were afflicted by clinches disease. And clinching this for Fedor Gorst has not been smooth by any means. And question marks remain.
Yeah, and Fedor's not the type of guy to play down to his opponent. He wants to play clean every match. He's overhit this a little, right? So the cue ball is going to be going away from the 6. If he makes the combination. So not out of the woods yet. Oh, very well done. More angle there on the 6-7 than I thought. Phil, I believe he's going to get out here.
Yeah, the storm has been weathered, it would appear. Just one more on-point positional shot. These are the kinds of decisive 9 balls you wish for. No mistake. Fedor Gorst is into single elimination. To 7-3, he was the epitome of solid. At 8-6, well, he was susceptible, but he found a way. Fedor Gorst beats Payne McBride by 9 racks to 6. One more match left for you on the main TV table today, and it features another young superstar of 9 ball.